The Shepherd Boy's Tears. In a dim, foggy corner of a small town, where cobbled streets twisted and turned into dark alleys, lived a young shepherd boy named William. His life was simple, yet full of hardships. Orphaned at a young age, he was raised by his frail grandmother in a crumbling wooden shack on the outskirts of the bustling city. They had little to their name, surviving on the meagre wages William earned by tending the sheep of Mr. Hollingsworth, a wealthy yet kind-hearted merchant. One bleak winter morning, the city was shrouded in a cold mist. The sheep, usually obedient and docile, had scattered in the thick fog. William had dozed off for just a moment near the riverbank, lulled by the soft bleating of the flock. When he awoke, the sheep were gone. Panic gripped him like a vice. Tears welled in his wide, frightened eyes as he ran up and down the muddy streets, calling out for the sheep. "Bessie, Snowbell, where are you?" he cried, his voice trembling with despair. His thin hands clutched his patched-up coat, trying to keep out the biting cold. The townsfolk watched him with mild curiosity, some shaking their heads in disapproval. "What will I tell Mr. Hollingsworth?" William murmured to himself, his voice breaking. "He'll surely ask us to pay for the lost sheep. But we have nothing, not even enough bread for tomorrow." His grandmother's pale face flashed in his mind. Her frail hands, always trembling as she knitted to earn a few extra coins, haunted him. William couldn't bear to think of her suffering because of his carelessness. As he searched, the fog grew thicker, and his cries turned to sobs. He collapsed onto the cobblestones, burying his face in his hands. His ragged shoes were soaked through, and his breath came in shuddering gasps. Unbeknownst to William, Mr. Hollingsworth had been nearby, overseeing his workers at the docks. The merchant spotted the boy and approached him. "William?" he called out, his deep voice kind but firm. William froze, his heart pounding in his chest. He looked up, his tear-streaked face pale with fear. "Mr. Hollingsworth, I've lost your sheep," he stammered, his voice barely audible. "I didn't mean to, I swear. Please, sir, don't make me pay for them. My grandmother and we have nothing." The merchant knelt down, placing a hand on William's trembling shoulder. "Calm yourself, lad," he said gently. "The sheep are just animals. They wander. It happens. Tell me, where did you last see them?" Through his tears, William described the riverbank and the fog. Mr. Hollingsworth nodded and summoned his workers. Together they searched the area. Within hours, the sheep were found, huddled together near an old mill. When the flock was returned safely, William fell to his knees, his face buried in his hands. "Thank you, sir," he choked out. "Thank you. Ah." Mr. Hollingsworth looked at him with a warm smile. "William," he said, "you are young and hard-working, and I see how much you care for your grandmother. Do not burden yourself with such heavy fears. Mistakes are a part of life. What matters is how you strive to make things right." From that day on, William not only tended the sheep with even greater care, but also found in Mr. Hollingsworth a mentor and protector. Though his life remained simple, The kindness of the wealthy merchant gave him hope for brighter days ahead.